right, Shannon, what was your takeaway from yesterday's game?
I believe John Harbaugh is in real trouble. It was reported that they came very close to letting Harbaugh go in this offseason. But Ozzie Newsome, who's the general manager, who's been the general manager for over 20 years, this was his last draft. And it's ironic, Skip, that John Harbaugh and Joe Flacco came in together. I believe they will depart together.
I agree.
I believe this is both of their last year in Baltimore. Joe Flacco is reverting back to what we saw the last couple of years, is that he's turning the ball over, and 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions in his last 5 games. He's 31st in yards per attempt. He got off to a great start. If you remember, I think it was a Thursday night game. They went to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
He threw for 363. He lit the Steelers up. I don't know what they're doing offensively with Lamar Jackson. I don't know by letting him come in there, run some zone reads, scramble around. I don't know how that's developing him as a quarterback. And then yesterday, bring him in and they let him play some receiver. And Joe Flacco doesn't even look his way. All he has to do is look at him. He's going to throw him. He's wide open for a touchdown.
Yep.
But he ends up throwing it high and throwing it out of bounds. So I think that's where the Ravens are. They're in trouble. I believe Joe Flacco will exit after this season. I believe John Harbaugh will be relieved of his duty after this season. But what I don't get about the Steelers, Skip, I believe as a teammate, you can praise one without trying to be disparaging of the other. It seems to me that the Steelers' offensive linemen have gone out of their way to be disparaging of Le'Veon Bell. Okay, he's not there. Now, if you want to say, look, we saw this guy in practice. We saw some of the things that he did last year. So I'm not surprised that James Conner is playing as well as he's played. He's been phenomenal. And so that's just a testament to his hard work. Le'Veon's not here. When Le'Veon comes back, okay, we'll deal with Le'Veon then. But it seems to me that they're going out of their way to try to bash Le'Veon. And I don't know why Le'Veon. I'm never going to give up $15 million, Jan. I'm coming in. I understand. You can't make that money up, Skip. You're closer to the end of your career than you are the beginning. And normally what guys do, when you get closer to the end, you hoard more of the stuff. Because you're going to be making less of it down the road. But I just don't get the Steelers' offensive linemen and some of the guys that have gone out of their way. You can praise James Conner, but you don't have to be dismissive and disparaging of Le'Veon Bell.
So if you're Le'Veon, are you going to come in and try? Or are you just going to come in and watch?
Well, here's the thing, Skip. I can't. You got to come in by what, next week? Is it this week or next week? This week. So you got to come in and go and to get a credited season, or you're back in the same situation you were in this year. And there's I read a report. I don't know if it's true or not that they could possibly transition. I think you should just go ahead and move on. I think they should have just moved on to begin with. Once James Conner started playing as well as he did, let's just go ahead and move on because it seems like it's really toxic. Le'Veon walking in. And like Todd Montgomery said, he doesn't know who to trust in the locker room after the game, after reported what they said. If I'm Le'Veon, how do I trust? Because I heard in the offseason when one of the linemen said what he said, and DeCastro had said what he said, now he's looking around like, first time he gets tackled in the backfield, he's looking at, y'all didn't never do that for James Conner. Y'all block for him. So it's just a bad situation, and I just don't know how it gets better with Le'Veon coming back. But if I'm Le'Veon, I'm coming back and get that last little bit of money.
So this is a double-edged sword. Let's talk about the Steelers first. My take on the Steelers is just when I thought it was safe to write them off this year, guess what? They're back in first place.
Yep.
You believe in that?
Yeah.
Didn't we pretty much both write them off early?
Yes.
As a dysfunctional, finger-pointing mess? Didn't I think that Mike Tomlin was at least on a hot seat?
Yeah.
And now that seat feels pretty cool.
Yep.
Because his defense is playing not great, but much better than it did.
Correct.
It's credible now. I said this Friday, and I'm going to say it again. James Conner has been the catalyst for this team taking off. There's no me in him. He doesn't care about his stats. He gives you the opposite of what Le'Veon gives you. Obviously, Le'Veon has a little more talent in several areas, but James Conner gives you an honest day's work. It's blue-collar work. It's hard-nosed work. He will do what he's asked to do as hard as he can do it. He'll run it. He will catch it and make some yards after catch.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, he was the lightning rod figure around who they took off because he's not Le'Veon. And I think the offensive line knows he's not Le'Veon, and we love the guy because he's not Le'Veon.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, you could throw more balls to more wide receivers, and that clarified everything on the team. So AB seems happier. Juju seems happier. The whole team looks and feels happier because they are rolling right now, and it's hard for me to bet against them going forward. Do I think they can beat New England? I don't. And they get New England one more time at home this year, once again.
And they've already lost to Kansas City.
They've already lost to Kansas City. So the point is that while they are ascending, the Ravens are descending. And this isn't 2020 hindsight. I'm going to say what I said before the year. And I'm sure a lot of people laughed about this. I would have started Lamar Jackson. Was he ready to be an NFL quarterback? Not even remotely. Would he have been better than Joe Flacco for this Ravens team? Yes, he would have. He'll make some plays at quarterback that Joe can't even think about. I've just seen enough of what the guy I call Fluco.
Yeah.
And I said before the year, why would you do it again? You keep missing the playoffs with Fluco. Why would you go back to that well? Why wouldn't you let Lamar just have a shot at it? He's mentally tough enough. He could have survived.
Well, because they said, Skip, let's give him some weapons. They went out and got Crabtree. They went out and signed Snead the fourth to a contract. And so they says, okay, now we have him some weapons. They drafted another offensive lineman, and it says, okay, if we can protect Joe, give him some weapons. We can. But at this point, you know who he is. He had the Joe Flacco of the playoffs and the Joe Flacco in the regular season, Skip. If there's such a thing as two different people, they are. He's so, but I mean, the playoff Joe Flacco in the regular season would be a Hall of Famer, and it wouldn't even be close.
He would have been.
But at some point in time, we have to come to the realization: Joe Flacco is who he is.
He has
what
to.
He is.
The other Flacco has to get you to the postseason,
Right.
and anymore he can't.
And I don't think that's happened. Have they been to the playoffs maybe once since that Super Bowl appearance?
Once.
So.
And he's been at the bottom of the league in every stat.
And he's always been at the bottom. He's always been a guy because he pushed the ball down the field, Skip. He's going to put the ball in harm's way, but now all his stuff is around the edge.
And he readily admitted several times he doesn't like Lamar coming in at all.
Yeah.
And especially when Joe has to go stand out there wide and just kind of put his hands on his hips and watch.
Well, guess what, Joe Flacco? If Drew Brees can do it when they bring this number 7, their gadget guy in, you damn sure can do it. And Drew Brees is way more accomplished. So guess what? If you can move the ball, think about it. The Saints are going up and down the field, and Sean Payton will bring this guy in to give you a chance.
Hill, but he's no threat to Drew as a quarterback.
Well,
that's the difference. While Lamar is a big threat.
If Drew was playing like trash, they'd have brought somebody in to be a threat to Drew Brees.
Probably not Taysom Hill. But,
right, exactly. But the reason why they drafted Lamar Jackson, Joe Flacco, you could have prevented this. You could have made this obsolete. But you didn't, and you haven't. So guess what? This is where you are. This is the bed that you made. So you must lie in it. You made it.
I think that defense is still really good and well coached by Wink Martindale.
Yes.
But I think they lose heart because of Fluco.
Yes.
They finally just say, what are we doing?
It's hard. I can imagine what we put the 2000 Ravens defense through. It's hard when you go 3 and out. Okay,
Big play Shea.
Yeah, but
One play Shea.
that came mainly during the playoffs, and then once we got Trent in there, I mean, we averaged 20 points a game for the season, Skip. Obviously, it was a different game back then, but it can be frustrating.
What'd you average for the playoffs? Not much.
No, well, we scored 21, 24, 16, 34. We're a little better.
What'd you score against the Raiders at Raiders?
16 then they scored 34 in the Super Bowl. Oof. But when you only give up 3, you give up 7, you give up 3, you give up 10, you're going to win most of those games.
I'd say you would.
Memory, that's impressive.
Oh, yeah.
List them off.
Yeah, well, we busted Skip up. I've been busting Skip up since September 6th, 2016.
That's how he got his third ring, is because he went along for the greatest ride with maybe the greatest defense ever. Am I right?
That's so unbecoming of you, Skip.
That's how you got to wear that leather. That third ring.
Oh, shit.
Ow! It's working for you today. Okay. Are the Patriots now the team to beat in the AFC? We'll discuss that. Let's hear what Michael Vick has to say next.